Good morning and welcome to Maximo Bite Size, a podcast on the functionality of Maximo Manage. Today is the 6th episode in the series on asset management, and we will be discussing rotating assets. A rotating asset is an asset that can be managed in a storeroom. A rotating asset references an item or tool that has the rotating field set. A common phrase will be that a rotating asset belongs to a rotating item. Why the term rotating? Well, first, it has nothing to do with whether a part of the asset makes a rotational movement, like an impeller on a pump. A rotating item is an inventory item with a current balance where the instances of the item are tracked individually as serialized assets, a rotating asset. The term rotating is used because you are tracking the serialized assets from the storeroom to an operating location, then to a repair shop, and back to a storeroom ready to be issued again. Rotating stock. It is issued and eventually returned to be issued again. The balances of a rotating item are controlled by the movement of rotating assets in and out of a storeroom. You can create a rotating asset at the time the asset is created by referencing the rotating item, or you can use the Assets application action change item number. When an asset references a rotating item, the meter group reference on the item is copied to the asset, and this creates the asset meters that are part of the meter group. The classification on the item is also copied to the asset, including the attributes of the classification, the specification, and their attribute values. If the description generation function is turned on for the classification, then the asset's description will be generated. The generated description may include the classification description and one or more attribute values, including any prefixes and units of measure. This can create consistency in the asset description. The action apply item assembly structure can create an asset hierarchy referenced as sub-assemblies and spare parts. A hierarchy of items can be added to the rotating item in the Item Master application and Item Assembly Structure tab. Items that are rotating will become sub-assemblies. Items that are not rotating will become spare parts. There is no limit to the number of levels in the hierarchy, although 3 might be considered a practical limit, as it is not easy to visualize the hierarchy if it is 4 or more levels deep. Having said that, applying an item assembly structure 3 levels deep and another to the asset created as a grandchild can create an asset assembly 5 levels deep. Component assemblies may be more reusable using this type of method. Locations of type operating can also reference a rotating item, and the features described for assets also work for locations. There is no change item number action as the rotating item field is editable on an operating location. Meters can be created on the location when the rotating item references a meter group. The classification and specification attributes are copied from the rotating item, and there is an action in the locations application, apply item assembly structure. Some features of rotating items which are unique to rotating assets include the copying of the items image to create an image for the asset. This does not happen for a location. A rotating item may be condition enabled, which means that the same item number can be used if the assets are in different condition states and consequently are likely to have different issue unit costs based on the condition state. For example, an item with a new condition state would have 100% of the unit cost, an overhaul condition state 85%, a repair condition state 50%, a used condition state 30%, and a scrap condition state of 5% of the unit cost of the item. Before returning a rotating asset to a storeroom, you can change its condition code from the Move Modify Assets action and the Attributes tab. Locations are not condition enabled. Depreciation schedules can be created for rotating items in the Item Master application. Multiple depreciation schedules can be created using the Manage Depreciation Schedules action. These can be on a time or meter basis. When an asset is received through the purchasing process, the depreciation schedules on the item are copied to the newly created rotating asset. It is also useful to remember that assets can also be tools when they reference a rotating item. In this case, the item is a tool item, and we might refer to this as a rotating tool. There is an item type field on the asset which you can have a value of item or tool. When the asset is a rotating tool, the tool rate, the hourly rate for using the tool asset, is copied from the tools record and tool organization details action. I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode when we will review location and asset specifications. The music is called Busy City from the talented group called Track Tribe. Please check them out on tracktribe.com, all one word. Until another time, goodbye.